disorder, and therefore, my Lords, I support the Noble Lord Coker's amendment.
Lords, the Noble Lord Sandhurst made a very passionate reminder of the reason why there's so much public hostility to a lot of the types of tactics that have been used by protesters over the last year, that has fuelled support undoubtedly for the headlines associated with this legislation. As it happens, those arguments have been well rehearsed in this chamber by all sides, and it seems to me that despite that, this particular demand for stop and search without suspicion will do absolutely nothing to tackle the problems that are described. I want to state that again. Stop and search without suspicion. It does seem extraordinary to me that anyone would imagine that that would have any impact whatsoever on the particular protesters that the Noble Lord Sandhurst described, but it definitely will have a chilling impact on protest in general. As it happens, the Noble Lord Coker's amendment is incredibly reasonable. It does not actually fly in the face of anything that the government are trying to do, because what it does is it asks for some checks and balances, which, having read the Noble Lady Baroness Casey's report, you'd think the government would welcome, as has been illustrated. But in all seriousness, how could you read that and not just think, oh my goodness, what's happened? So I think that to have a balancing amendment, which is what the Amendment A1 does, seems very sensible. And just finally, on Sunday, a group of women, some of whom I know, went to Speaker's Corner as part of the Let Women Speak campaign. They were kettled and mobbed by hostile opponents. Regardless of what you think of that particular event, the reason I mention it was because the police stood by and did nothing, and at one point when things got really hairy, they walked off, leaving those women facing a lot of aggression. The difficulty we've got is that the police have acted inconsistently, erratically, almost in a politicised fashion when it comes to policing different demonstrations. And so what I would like is for the police to use the powers they have, which they have, goodness knows, plenty of, to police this country and to protect those under attack. We do not need to give them new powers that they don't need to police this country, or indeed to police anything that is an aggressive demonstration that disrupts the lives of everyone, as you've all said. We don't need those powers. We just need the police to do the job that they're paid to do. And they don't appear to be doing it, and that's what Casey's report shows. And it's worse than that. We will do damage to the reputation of the police if this House, just for headlines, thinks that the government are going to improve things. They won't. So I would urge you to support the police by not being disproportionate, and to support the public by actually asking the police to do the job they've got without bringing in suspicion-less stop and search, which is draconian in any country.
Having been mentioned by both front benches,